Hello, I'm Julia Bradbury. I'm a television presenter in the UK and I specialise in documentary series that celebrate the natural world and green spaces and blue spaces. And I talk about how useful and important and vital these spaces are for our physical health and our mental health. And I also make lovely travel programs as well. But I try to focus on positive tourism and the impact that tourism can have in a positive way on communities. But also, of course, tourism can have negative impacts. One of my passions is plastic pollution. And that's why I'm a huge supporter of the Cyclades Preservation Fund, because it's one of their passions as well. They have a project running right now, which is called the Plastic Free Cyclades Project. And what they've managed to do is install one of the first marine litter stations on the island of Antiparos. And that's really important because it shows that this is something that has to be dealt with, but it also raises awareness. And that is what is absolutely vital. And that's why the Cyclades Preservation Fund is doing such a good job by getting communities and people involved at a grassroots level. Now, you might tell by looking at me that I'm Greek, and indeed I am. I'm half Greek on my mother's side, Chrysoula, and that's why I care so passionately about this project and about Greece and about the Greek islands. I genuinely think that the Greek islands are some of the most stunning, wonderful and alluring places on earth, and they need protecting and they need preserving, and plastic pollution is just a big problem for them, and raising awareness at a local level is absolutely key. You might not know this, but it's thought that we human beings are currently consuming a credit card size worth of plastic every single week. We're eating it, we're drinking it, we're inhaling it. Microplastics are a huge problem. That's what happens when plastic breaks down in the oceans and on land. It breaks down into these tiny particles that then get fed through the ecosystem. And yes, we are now eating it. They have found microplastics at the top of Everest, and they found microplastics in the deepest ocean trenches. That is how big the problem of plastic is. Greece has one of the longest coastlines in Europe, and sadly it has one of the poorest recycling rates as well. Recycling is just a part of the solution in a whole toolbox that's needed. We also need to look at alternatives, and we need to continue to raise awareness of the damage of single-use plastics. Now, when I was filming around the Greek islands last year, I'm devastated to say that at so many of the bars and restaurants, a lot of the drinks and beverages came in plastic cups with not one, not two, sometimes three plastic straws in them. There just seemed to be very little awareness of the damage that this kind of plastic is doing, because that is exactly the type of stuff that just ends up going straight into the ocean and utterly devastating marine ecosystems. So the local sea turtles and the dolphins, marine life, and of course the fishing stocks are all being impacted by this. So it's something that we have to continue to work with and work on. Please support the Cyclades Preservation Fund however you can. We would love your expertise. We would love you to help at community level. And of course, we'd love your money if you can donate as well. Thanks for listening. Efkaristo. Goodbye.